In Cleveland, the message being sent to Shedeur Sanders feels small, procedural, and strangely outdated. Fines over shoes, rigid rules, the quiet reminder that even your individuality has a price tag. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, an entirely different world is opening its doors to him. In London, Shedeur isn't being managed, monitored, or corrected. He's being courted. While one organization debates discipline, another is rolling out a red carpet inside the owner's box at one of the most powerful football clubs on the planet. That contrast alone explains why this moment matters far beyond a social media clip or a headline. This wasn't a coincidence. It was a statement. Shedeur Sanders didn't just attend a Chelsea match. He positioned himself inside a room where global sports power is quietly being reshaped. Todd Boehly's presence is what elevates this from spectacle to strategy. This is a man who understands leverage, valuation, and long-term vision better than almost anyone in modern sports. He didn't spend hundreds of millions acquiring Chelsea, and even more reshaping its global footprint, without recognizing where influence is headed next. To Boehly, Shedeur isn't a quarterback waiting for permission from the NFL. He's a connector. A bridge between American football culture, global youth markets, fashion, music, and the next generation of fans who don't separate sports from lifestyle. When Chelsea embraced Shedeur publicly, they weren't celebrating a visitor. They were aligning with a movement. What makes this even more disruptive is that Shedeur arrived in Europe already untethered from traditional dependency. The Paris stop changed everything. A nine-figure fashion deal before ever taking an NFL snap flips the entire power structure upside down. This is not a prospect desperate for validation or survival. This is an athlete entering the league with financial independence, cultural influence, and global recognition that most veterans never achieve. That reality alone removes the leverage front offices are used to wielding. You can't threaten opportunity when opportunity already exists on a global scale. You can't control someone who doesn't need your approval to thrive. This is why the rumors feel louder than usual. Draft positioning chatter, whispers about manipulation, speculation about whether the Sanders family would ever allow Shedeur to land in a poorly run situation. In another era, that talk would sound reckless. Today, it sounds calculated. Shedeur isn't looking for a jersey. He's looking for alignment. He isn't auditioning for employment. He's evaluating partnerships. That mindset terrifies a league built on control, hierarchy, and the assumption that rookies should be grateful. The Sanders family isn't playing defense in this process. They're dictating terms simply by existing outside the usual constraints. What's happening in London and Paris isn't about arrogance. It's about vision. Shedeur understands something most athletes don't grasp until it's too late. Careers are short. Influence doesn't have to be. By embedding himself in the ecosystems of global sports ownership and luxury branding, he's learning how power actually works behind the scenes. He's watching how international clubs cultivate loyalty, how brands are built across continents, how image and access become assets as valuable as performance. This isn't distraction. It's education at the highest level. Critics will frame this as noise, as overexposure, as a young quarterback losing focus. But that interpretation ignores how deliberately this has been constructed. Every appearance reinforces the same message. Shedeur is not confined to a 100-yard field. He's building something that stretches across oceans. He's positioning himself as a cultural ambassador in spaces where American football rarely penetrates. And in doing so, he's expanding the footprint of the sport itself, whether the NFL is ready for that or not. There's also something deeper happening beneath the branding and the headlines. Shedeur is walking into rooms where Black American culture has historically been commodified without representation. And instead of shrinking himself to fit expectations, he's carrying that identity with confidence and control. From the way he presents himself to the brands he aligns with, he's asserting ownership over the narrative. This is not accidental. It's generational. It echoes the early blueprint of athletes who understood that legacy is built as much in boardrooms as it is on scoreboards. What unsettles traditionalists most is that none of this depends on draft night. Shedeur's value isn't hypothetical. It's already been validated at the highest levels of global business. Every attempt to minimize his on-field talent only amplifies his off-field magnetism. Every critique fuels engagement. Every doubt sharpens the contrast between old systems and new realities. Even if his name isn't called first, he enters the league as the most influential figure in his class. That's a different kind of first pick. The Chelsea visit wasn't an endpoint. It was a preview. Bowley doesn't think in seasons. He thinks in decades. When he looks at Shedeur, he sees scalability. Someone who can help redefine how American athletes integrate into global sports ecosystems. For Shedeur, exposure to that thinking is invaluable. He's absorbing how winners operate when the stakes are measured in billions, not box scores. That knowledge doesn't disappear once the pads come on. It compounds. As this European chapter settles, the implications become unavoidable. The traditional path for elite athletes is fractured. Silence and obedience are no longer prerequisites for success. Shedeur Sanders is demonstrating that you can prepare for professional football while simultaneously building an empire. You can respect the game without surrendering autonomy. You can enter the NFL as a quarterback and already function as a global executive. The question now isn't whether Shedeur belongs in the league. It's whether the league is prepared to accommodate someone who refuses to shrink. Because once you've sat in the owner's box at Stamford Bridge, once you've negotiated nine-figure deals in Paris, once you've seen how global power actually moves, it's hard to go back to being treated like a replaceable asset. Shedeur Sanders isn't running from football. He's expanding its borders. And that's why this moment feels so pivotal. This isn't hype. This is infrastructure being built in real time. A brand, a network, a legacy forming before a single NFL snap is taken. The biggest plays of Shedeur's career might not come on Sundays. They might happen in boardrooms, on international stages, and in conversations the public never hears about. By the time the league fully grasps what he's built, the leverage will already be gone. So now it's on the teams. Who understands what this era demands? Who sees a quarterback and also sees a global partner? Who is bold enough to stop managing and start investing? Because the Sanders era isn't coming. It's already here. And it's moving faster than the old rules can keep up with. What do you think this means for the future of the NFL? Is Shedeur Sanders redefining what it means to be a franchise quarterback? Or is the league about to clash with a new kind of power it doesn't know how to handle? Drop your thoughts below, hit like if you see the shift happening in real time, and subscribe now, because this story is only getting bigger and the next move could change everything.